All right, welcome to day 35 of our journey to Platinum here in Elden Ring. So today we're going to begin working our way through Siofra, and I actually did end up looking up the recommended levels for certain areas just because I was curious. And looking at this here, so West Limgrave, East Limgrave, Weeping Peninsula, Stormvale Castle, so that's exactly the order I took things. Next technically should be Liurnia of the Lake, so that makes a lot of sense, and that's what I was thinking in my head, but for whatever reason I just decided to go Caelid, and that was a mistake. And then technically Siofra isn't until like the ninth area. It's broken down into, let's see, 30 areas that it recommends you go like in the order you go through things. And I don't really care about recommended order, but it's still, I'm just thinking, like, what's going to make this the most fun? And technically Siofra is further down the list, but we're going to go through it anyway because it still says recommended level is like 60 to 70, and I'm level 55. And that's kind of the case for... Oop, I didn't mean to turn that off. That's kind of the case for Caelid as well. So in some ways it seems... Like, I fully admit it seems kind of contradictory that I decided to leave Caelid and then just come to an area that technically is after Caelid and a little bit harder. But because it's a short area, I kind of just want to go through it anyway, get it done, and then we'll go to Liurnia. And Liurnia, though... Can I pull out... Oh, I can pull out Torrent down here. Sweet. So Liurnia is technically recommended to be at level 40 to 50, and I'm already past that. So because of that, unfortunately, I've kind of made Liurnia a little bit of an easy area for myself. And I kind of... So here's been part of my thought process as I've been doing this playthrough. I've talked a lot about my thought process overall and like my goals for the playthrough. But one of the things, and I'm going to put my starlight out, one of the things that I've been thinking is, on top of the fact that we're trying to go like 100% and everything, and which is why, like what I'm doing right now, I explore everything to a ridiculous level and collect everything. I mean, we just kind of approach it like a long play. One of the other things that I've been thinking is I still enjoy the whole aspect of, even though I've played the game so extensively, I've played through it before, like I know what's coming. The game's so massive that there's still sort of like new stuff for me at times because I forget. So because of that, I'm trying to not too frequently like look up, right, what's the order that I should go? Because I'd rather just figure it out again, even though I've already figured it out once before. With trial and error. I kind of enjoy figuring out with trial and error again. So I didn't even really want to look it up, but I figured just for the sake of the best way to approach the playthrough, might be a good idea to just check and see what recommended order is. So yeah, overall that means that Liurnia is probably going to be super easy, because now that we're also going to go through Siofra, before going to Liurnia, that means I'm going to be an even higher level. Which is why I was in some ways considering, okay, maybe we wait on Siofra, go to Liurnia first, because then we don't run that risk of making it even easier. But I decided against that, clearly, and we're going to go through this first. Mostly just because I want to. And I wanted to go through Caelid before going and realizing, wow, okay, like, I'm not quite ready for this. And I could totally do it at the level that I'm at, clearly, since like I fought a couple of the bosses and stuff, and it wasn't that big of a challenge, and it was fun having that little bit of a greater challenge than what I've been facing throughout a lot of the playthrough so far, because I have been over-leveled for a lot of stuff. So it would be fun, but at the same time, the other risk that you run is then you go through, like maybe you go through Caelid a bit under-leveled. Crap, I didn't mean to do that. You go through Caelid a bit under-leveled, and make it hard on yourself, but then by the time you get through Caelid, you're even more leveled up, and then you make Liurnia even more easy. It's like ridiculously easy at that point, so that seems kind of silly. Alright, and this, I want to try fire on these guys. Ooh, that's not that great. For some reason I was thinking fire was going to do a lot more. I wonder... What'll that do to him? Yeah, that's not great either. So overall, these guys, they're just not... They look squishy, but they're not squishy. Oh, shoot, I forgot they could do that. Yeah, they are definitely not squishy. Like, it takes a lot to kill them. Holy crap. They hit pretty hard, too. And there's just a lot of them. I mean, it makes it... It's not super difficult because of the fact that they're so freaking slow. But there's just so many of them. And I think I should at least keep my fire out. Like, it won't hurt to use it against them, even though it doesn't seem to do that much. And like I was saying at the end of yesterday, I don't think that it'll take too many episodes to clear Siofra. At first I was thinking probably 2 to 3 episodes. I'm thinking it's probably going to be more like 4 episodes to clear the area. Because it is, I mean, it's not super extensive, but it is a little longer, like, as I think through it. It is a little longer than I remember, so... Oh, man, they're both going in for the smack attack. Yeah, look at how slow they are. So, there's a decent amount of content down here to explore. But we'll try to knock it out in 4 episodes or less, probably. I do feel like, though, it's one of those areas that you kind of get into it, and it does, I mean, it's got its own map fragments and stuff, so it's a whole area. Like, it's not like it's tiny. It's not just a dungeon. But I feel like you kind of get into it and you go, okay, like, it's got a map and everything, like, it's its whole area, but overall, as you run through it, you go, okay, there's not that much to this place. So, kind of makes it cool, because one of the things that I was talking about when we initially found the Siofra well. Yeah, initially up here when we found the Siofra River well, episodes and episodes ago. Like, that was probably at least 15 episodes ago. Or no, probably more than that, like 20. I was talking about how one of the reasons that I like the underground stuff in Elden Ring is that it really feels like you enter a whole new game. Just because, like, the aesthetics are totally different, the look, the colors, like, everything, the music, everything just feels different. And it's almost like a massive catacomb type of thing, because the music's similar, and I hate that it does that. The music's similar to Catacombs, and it has... The underground stuff has more of a Bloodborne type feel to it. Just very, very dark, kind of depressing, and not even... I don't even mean dark in terms of light level. I mean dark in terms of it's just like... It's a dark area. Like, everything just feels kind of depressing and scarier. And I love that. It's so cool. It almost adds like a horror element to the game, being in these underground areas. Which is very much the type of feel that Bloodborne has, is a type of, like, unique horror experience. And I guess after I played through Bloodborne a couple of times, like, super extensively, I had thought about the fact that the game is obviously super dark and it's creepy, but I had never really thought about the fact that it is, like, a different take on... Oh, no, but they do a grab attack. Crap. Oh, shoot! Alright, you do not want to be grabbed by that. Holy crap. But yeah, I hadn't thought about the fact that that Bloodborne really is like a super unique take on horror games, because it's not really advertised as that. It's not necessarily viewed as that overall. But it very much is. It's a super cool approach to horror. And at times it's almost more of a suggested horror. It's not even that there's a ton of, like, it's not a typical horror game where there's, like, jump scares and stuff at every turn. Crap, I hate that. It's more just suggested that, like, this is creepy and, like, you should feel uncomfortable right now. Alright, I'm gonna pull this out again. Maybe hit it. Can I hit a... No, I can't. I was hoping maybe there... Oh, I can. There is splash damage. I can hit a few of them at once. Nice. I like that very much. Yeah, do your swing. Do your swing. Yeah, just dealing with so many of these is what makes this tricky. Imagine an area with this many of something else, like something that's not slow. Like you'd never make it through. Like if you had this many of just like a, I don't know, what's a good example? Maybe this many of honestly even like the bats. You'd be in terrible shape because they're way more aggressive. Alright, I think you're the last one over here, buddy. You've got a melty face, though. I don't know if we can be friends. Typically try to not associate with melty faces. It's very melty. I can't remember what those guys are called. Oh, wait, and they actually do. I forgot. When they die, they literally do just melt into, like, a blob on the ground. Which is gross. It's kind of nasty. Smithing Stone 4s, and that's another... The Smithing Stone 4 thing is another reason why this is technically supposed to be a little later area. Because even though I didn't look this part up, because of the recommended order, it can be inferred that Liurnia then is where the Smithing Stone 3s are at, which is why I'm finding so many Smithing Stone 4s in Caelid and in Siofra. So that is one thing that could shoot me in the foot a little bit, is the fact that I'm not really going to get that many Smithing Stone 3s for a little while until we head over to Liurnia, meaning that I can't really take my katana past where it's at for the time being, because I need 3s right now to be able to upgrade. But it also means that once I do get to Liurnia and grab the 3s, I'll already have a whole bunch of 4s ready to go, and we can just start dumping levels into this weapon if I even decide that I want to continue using this weapon at that point. Because as I've been looking, like we found that... What was we found that katana yesterday that's got better bleed buildup than this katana. Oh man, even the scarabs take a lot of damage. Yeah, we found that katana yesterday that's got better bleed, and it's got magic on it. So there's part of me that's like, maybe that could be kind of a cool weapon to switch to, but I don't want to switch constantly, because then I'm just wasting upgrade materials. And that's another thing that, like I said, technically, since this is like playthrough 2.5 for me or whatever, it wouldn't really matter if I looked up stuff about, like, okay, where do you get certain weapons and when do you get them? But I don't know, I enjoy the process of finding all that stuff again, and it seems silly to look it up and sort of like half spoil it for myself, if that makes sense. Ooh, budding horn. Ooh, 3 budding horns, actually. Which is another reason why I talked about how a ways through the series I switched it from a walkthrough to a playthrough, because I was talking about the fact that I'm not really, like, I don't have any intention of walking you through the game. I'm sort of experiencing it again for myself, since the only time that I really played through it extensively was around the time the game first came out. So that was a year and a half ago when I played through it, or when I like really played through it. So because of that, I switched it to a playthrough, and then was like, let's do it as a long play, since I play through so incredibly slowly. All right, this guy, he's just hanging out. I want to see if there was another. What are those gold centipedes? I want to see if there was another one up there, but there's not. And I like to run along all of these edges because of the fact that there's some centipedes up along these, and I think there might also be... Woo! I think there might also be other items too. Oh yeah, and we can also get up to this from over here. I don't know... I don't see any centipedes along that wall, so I don't know that it's even going to be necessary to drop to that one. You know how I am, though. I might do it anyway at some point, just because I've got to check. I've got to check everything. So that's the path of progression right there, I believe. I think we have to go through there. And let's see. So that wall's done. This wall, everything I need. So yeah, let's drop to the left here. And then we'll go up here, because I think then I can drop down into this building. And then we can kind of progress through from inside. I think that's the move right there. I think that's going to be the best way to do this. What about this wall? Doesn't look like there's anything on that wall. I gotta check. I gotta check. Wait, did these guys not even... Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, did these guys not have weapons? It's because they've got these bubble things. Oh, shoot. Can you backstab them? You can. Sweet. That does some decent damage, too. Just gonna roll through all that real fast. Ooh, got both of them with one swing. Suck it. Alright, yeah, and I'm finding myself, I keep not finishing sentences and stuff again, because I'm finding myself looking at all of these walls, making sure that there's nothing that I'm missing and that I should run over to while I'm up here. And I guess while we're up here, I mean, it does make it easy to kind of look at the tops of these walls and see, like, is there anything, are there any centipedes or anything that would be useful to go up there for? It looks like all the stuff along there, there's no reason to go along it. I wonder, though, I can pull Torrent out up here. I should check this and just see. Man, I feel like I'm losing my voice a little bit. Sometimes when I record a whole bunch, since I'm just talking for so long, it's like my throat starts to dry out, and I just start to, like, it starts to hurt, and I start to lose my voice. Because it's not like this is a two-way conversation going on here, even though, as part of the objective of this series, as a reminder, like, I want your comments, and I want you to random stuff I talk about in the episode, whether it's a story that I tell, or if we're talking about mental health or whatever, like, share your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear about it. But in the process of recording, it's definitely not a two-sided conversation. So I'm just yapping forever. And then by the time I'm done, my throat is killing me. What is the best way to do this? I think the best way is to make the drop right here. I wonder... that thing's going to roll away, though. I'm going to have to figure out if I can... Ooh, I wonder, though, if I could... Could I kill it with Flame Sling? Crap, he's gonna go down. I'm probably going to have to come back for him. Frick! Yeah, I'm going to have to come back. Unless I might be far enough away. No, he's fading. Dang it! I just felt like if I were to just run and jump down, I felt like I ran the risk of, like, I could end up killing myself getting too excited. I wonder what he's carrying. So we're definitely gonna have to, once I clear out everything, I'll reload and then just run back. Man, that lingers for a long time. Holy crap. Yeah, so I'll reload and I'll run back. I'll run past everything. It's not like there's anything that's super difficult to run by here. Oh, there's a gold centipede. I don't remember what you craft with those, so it might not really be that big of a deal to collect them, but I seem to remember that there is something or a couple of things that are useful that you want those for. And since they're kind of rare, it's like you might as well get them when you can. Alright, so this was the little area that I walked up to last episode. And I just kind of killed a couple of things just to test and see what difficulty the area would be. And it's definitely, if you're at the recommended level for this, which I'm definitely close to recommended level, because I think, what did I check yesterday? Yeah, I'm at 55. So I'm close to recommended level. So it's definitely, if you are at recommended level, these are a little easier to kill. But not that much. I mean, because they are, no matter what, like, really strong. And just have a lot of defense. Even though, like I said, they look like they should be so squishy. Oh, crap. But I guess that's the case for those slime blobs, too. Those also look like they should be super squishy, and they're just not. And there is part of me, though, that I'm trying different ways to attack these, because I just feel like there's got to be a faster way for me to kill them than this. But maybe not. I mean, because even my charge attack, like, that does damage, but it's nothing crazy. And when they're all grouped up like that, and they're all stabbing, that's hard to avoid. And it is nice, since they're so slow, like, that grab attack really sucks, but it's nice that they're so slow, because you can easily just walk away. It's like, you don't even need to roll, you just walk. Alright, there's definitely more here. And I guess that's an interesting design for the area. Like I was saying, if you had a whole bunch of a more aggressive enemy, it's kind of like there's no way that you could deal with it. So you can either make an area hard by just an aggressive enemy that maybe has a little less health, but super fast and is quick on its feet or whatever, like whatever it may be. Or you can have an area where it's like a crap ton like this of the same enemy, but they're super slow, and it sort of like balances itself out. And so, all right, so we're almost back down to the outside of this, and then I want to go through that other room, or partial room, that's inside of here. And then before going through the exit, I guess, because like I said, I can just run past everything. Before going through the exit into the path of progression, I'll reload, and I'll go and kill that scarab and see what he's got. The scarabs down here, though, they look a little different, and I think maybe it's just because of the area that we're in. Like, they're glowing. They seem to be glowing a little bit differently. Like, they almost have like different colors on them. So I'm curious if they drop anything differently, if they're all just still Ashes of War and stuff like that, or what. Oh, I haven't really seen them do that attack much. Don't you grab me with that. Ooh, I almost walked back into it. That would have sucked. If I can sort of deal with them like that, like beat the crap out of them while there's only a couple or even one right near me, that would help a lot, because then... Ooh, there's an orb guy around here, though. Because then I can sort of deal with them little by little. Crap, I can't believe that missed both of you. I think the orb guy is... Oh, yeah, he's up there. I should... You know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to run by, go kill Orb Man, since he's got range. Oh, crap. If he releases that and you're standing right in front of it, it instantly hits you. I'm going to heal, because I am very low. Oh, crap. Shoot. Wait, did I kill the other orb guy? Yeah, I think I got that one last hit on him that I needed. Is there another? I feel like I'm hearing orbs from... Oh, maybe I'm just hearing the fire. That might be all I'm hearing. Okay, get out of there before he releases that. I guess they're more like bubbles than orbs. Okay. Alright. The other orb gentleman is dead now. Let me just do some range on a couple of these ones that are lower health. Yeah, he's also lower. Alright, I'm out of FP again. Or maybe not, or actually, I still had two flasks on me, so maybe not again. Maybe I hadn't run out of FP yet. Oh, no, but I did. I may have... I think I got some flasks back now that I think about it, since I've killed so much crap down here already. Ooh, he's doing some grab attacks. Look at these rolls. These rolls are working out real nicely. Never mind. These rolls are not working out real nicely. Alright, this one's almost dead. There he goes. Alright, guys, it's just the two of you now. So, oh, it's just the one of you now. So, I'm just going to promptly kill you. Thank you very much. I don't really care about you whatsoever. I know it's real rude, but I really don't. It is cool. I do like the fact that they just, like, fall down into blob form after you kill them. Because it leaves a trail of everything that you've killed and where you killed it, which is kind of funny to look at after you clear out the area. Golden 2. I'm getting a decent amount of golden runes down here. Okay, so that's everything cleared out. Let's, no, maybe what I should actually do is I'm going to go up here and grab the next Grace, because I think there's one relatively close by, and then we'll just come back. Just fast travel back and grab that Scarab. Because no Scarab left behind, if you know what I mean. And these lifts are so cool. I love these. Like the color on them and the sound it makes as you're going up. Or as you're going down, either way. So where is, there's got to be, I've got to be close to a Grace, right? Oh, you know what? Actually, okay, now that I think about it, there might be a Grace right up that way. So, hang on first. So this is done. I'm going to go ahead and send this back. And then I think that there's a Grace over this way, maybe? Even if it's... Oh, actually, you can see all this from up here. That's cool. Oh, look, you can see all the blobs I left behind from everything that I killed. Yeah, so this... Does this lead down, or is this just, this does not lead down. Or lead down. Okay, so I guess I'll just keep exploring until I find the next Grace. I know there's got to be one close by. Like, I don't think that you have to go that far. But maybe you do? Maybe it's further than I remember. What is that? Oh, yeah, you've got these... Okay, so... That always confuses me since you've got the... Oh, shoot. You've got the candles on there. It always confuses me and it makes me think that there's something there to pick up. But what I do remember is I think it's one of the underground areas where you have to actually go and, like, light a bunch of those towers. It might be this one. Or a bunch of those, like, monuments. You have to light them, I think. If I'm remembering correctly. Before, like, something happens. I don't remember exactly how it works. Oh, yeah, that's it. Right there. Light flame. Okay. But then what about the map down here? The map is definitely close by. And we'll go back still. I still got to get that Scarab. But I know that the map is really close to here. Oh, look at that. It's right there. Basically looking right at it. Okay, Siofra River. So let's take a look at that real fast. So yeah, see, it's not that big of an area, and some of this stuff, like this whole section here, I don't even think you really go to. And some of this is just water. So, alright, so we've got the Siofra Riverbank, we've got Siofra Riverwell Depths. So let's go back to the Riverwell Depths. And let's go grab that Scarab. I should be able to just hop on Torrent and sprint over there real fast, and then we can kind of continue on through the area. And so over in that area, like I said, I know that there's some of those monuments that you have to light. I don't remember exactly what that does. I can't remember if that's what spawns the boss or not. But then right up the stairs, right where I just grabbed that map fragment, is where the boss of the area is at. Or one of the bosses, because I think there might be a couple down here. I know that there's like one of those like Godskin dragons or something maybe in one of these underground places, but I don't remember which one it is. And again, those are the exact things that I'm talking about, how I don't remember that stuff because it's been a while since I've really played through the whole game, and the game is so massive that I like not remembering that stuff because it makes it a surprise. It can sometimes make me sound like an idiot, though, because I'm talking about something and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I think that this is coming up, and then it's very much not coming up because I don't remember. Ooh, I need to not drop there. That was a risky maneuver. That was ballsy. Hang on though, where did I drop before? Oh, right, okay, right here's the best spot to drop. Alright, now you are not gonna get away from me. And this is what I'm talking about. See how it looks a little different than the ones up top? Like they're glowing a little bit differently. Alright, I got him. There you go. So what do you drop? Oracle bubbles. Oh, so sweet. So I've actually got that freaking thing that they've been using against me. What attributes do you need for that, though? You need 19 intelligence and 15 arcane. So I'm not that far away from that. I don't know that I would really necessarily use that. I feel like it's very slow. So I feel like maybe the main benefit of using that would be maybe in a PvP situation, or I guess maybe if you're in an area with a whole bunch of slow enemies, it could be useful. Because it definitely does not feel like something, like if you're fighting a boss, you're not really going to use that. It's not going to do much because the bubbles move so slow. Or the oracles move so slow, I think is what it said. So let's go back. I'm going to run all the way back down this way to where we came from, because I didn't explore through all this before we move our way up through. And there's this Mr. Crabman. How's it going, Mr. Krabs? I will be back for you shortly. Alright, so that's where we came up from. Crap, I keep walking into those little areas where it forces me off of Torrent. And it's a major inconvenience, because then I have to like press the buttons again to pull Torrent back out. It's like it's a whole thing. And you can't even see most of those guys down there since they just come up out of the water. Ooh, for some reason, all of a sudden I was thinking that spot there was another elevator that I had sent back down, or another lift, and I was thinking I was about to just plummet to my death. And that would have been really, really bad. So as we're playing through this game, one of the things I've obviously talked about a good bit is some of the other FromSoft games, and just my thoughts on them, and which ones I've really enjoyed, which ones I haven't even played necessarily. And I don't know that I've talked much about Sekiro, because I have never played through Sekiro before. But it's interesting to hear from people who have played through all of FromSoft's games, with Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, Elden Ring. What am I forgetting? I feel like there's another one in the genre, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Regardless, you know what I'm getting at. It's interesting hearing people sort of talk about which ones are the hardest. Because in my estimation, just from the ones that I've played through, which is Elden Ring, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 2, and I've played part of Dark Souls 3, but I haven't ever played through all of it. So that's why I'd like to do a Journey to Platinum on that one, because I'd love to, and that'd be kind of like a blind Journey to Platinum, which would be fun. And so it's interesting hearing people that have played through all of them and talk about what the difficulty is. So like I said, the ones I listed, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 2, part of Dark Souls 3, and Elden Ring, those are the ones I've played. And out of all of those, I would say Elden Ring is definitely the easiest. Just as a whole. Like some of the bosses are obviously crazy difficult. Like once you get to Melania and things like that, it's insane. But overall, Elden Ring is definitely much more accessible for someone who maybe doesn't necessarily want something ridiculously difficult. So I say all that to say that with Sekiro, I've heard that potentially just overall might be the hardest one out of all of them. Really though, I more so often hear that that Demon Souls is the hardest one, and from the little bit, I have actually played a little bit of that. I've probably played like 10 hours of it, maybe. And I did not get all that far, because I was finding that Demon Souls was definitely the hardest FromSoft game I have tried before. And it doesn't mean that I'll never go back and play it. It was just like, at the time, I was considering doing another playthrough for Elden Ring, and I was just like, all right, it's not, right now for me, it's not worth putting all the time in necessary to master Demon Souls. Like, it's something that I'll come back to later. And I almost feel like that's something that maybe would be, I'd love to, sometime in the future, we'll see what happens, but eventually start streaming, just here and there, maybe like once a week or something. And I feel like Demon Souls could be a fun game to stream, because of the fact that if I just did a regular playthrough of it, and I'd work towards the platinum, obviously, it'd just be like a streamed Journey to Platinum. Forgot these guys were up here. Dude, they don't actually hit all that hard. But yeah, it'd be like a streamed Journey to Platinum. And I think Demon Souls could be kind of fun for that because of the fact that it's so difficult. Like, it'd be nice to have people going along with me, and I could have some help from chat. Whereas if I just recorded it, it would be probably a good bit of editing. Ooh, Armorer's Cookbook 6. A good bit of editing just in all my deaths and stuff. Like, I wouldn't cut out content, but... Oh, so that was one of the ones... Yeah, that was one of the ones I was missing. So, Blood Grease, Drawstring Blood Grease... Wait, I thought I could already make Blood Grease. Bloodbone Arrow, Bloodbone... Yeah, I could have sworn I could already make Blood Grease. I could already make... That doesn't make sense. I mean, I know now it's showing the new stuff, but I remember seeing it there, so that's kind of weird to me. I don't understand that unless I'm missing something. Not understanding, which is entirely possible. There's a lot of things I don't understand. But yeah, I feel like for me personally, a Demon Souls playthrough could be a little bit tricky. Like if I was just recording it, because it would take me forever. But a live streaming could be a little more fun because it could interact with everyone as we play through it. But it's definitely one I would love eventually, whether it's through a series like a long play series like this, or through approaching like a long play. Through the medium of a live stream. I would love eventually to make it through all of the Soulsborne games, like Bloodborne, all the Souls games, Sekiro, Elden Ring, Demon Souls. Like it'd be cool to make it through all that stuff, whether it's videos or live streams eventually. And I mean, I have a ton of fun making these because of the fact that I love these games so much. And I know that I do like a super slow playthrough style, which is the intention, as I've talked about before. That's kind of the whole point of the playthroughs. We're just going super slow, and we're just hanging out, forgetting about life. So, who knows? That may make it, like, I hope that it doesn't make it less enjoyable for everybody. But I say all that to say, overall, I have fun. I have a lot of fun. And that's important too, even though I very much want to entertain, and I do this for people's entertainment and for people to... Oh, I do this for people to be able to escape reality for a while, but it's also important that I enjoy making them, and I very much do. So, hopefully that translates into the actual videos. Alright, so all of this right here is good. I feel like I've been running around this little area forever because it's like a whole bunch of little corners stuff I've been trying to grab. I seem to recall in my first playthrough, I feel like when I first came to this area, I may have been here way too soon, if I'm remembering correctly. Because I think I basically, when I first found Siofra Riverwell, I think I came down here, and I wasn't trying to necessarily like progress through the whole area, but I was kind of like looking through it, and just like it was the first time I'd ever seen it, so it was kind of cool. And I think I struggled a good bit to begin with. Oh crap, I forgot that they do like chain attacks, because I was here so early. So this is feeling a lot easier than I remember it, and that's probably because I came so incredibly early the first time around. So that's one of the ones that I need to light. I'm gonna go light that real fast, because I think where I'm about to head up this hill, there's a few others that I need to light, and I might as well kind of, as I see them, light them. But I feel like way off I was about to point, like you can see it, but like way off in this direction, I think that there's also others that need to be lit, if I'm not mistaken. And I kind of like that. It kind of gives you something extra that you're doing as you're progressing through the environment. It's like, yeah, you're killing everything, you're working towards something, and you're collecting items and stuff like that. and you're exploring, but it's cool to have something like that where you're lighting things in the process. Because I feel like sometimes games do it in sort of a silly way, like just in a way where it's kind of like, all right, this feels kind of useless. Like I love the Batman Arkham games, but I remember in Arkham Asylum a couple of like missions or areas where it kind of felt like you would go through and you just be like, I don't know, almost like just flipping multiple levers and stuff, and it just didn't always. It just sometimes can feel kind of silly, but I feel like in this instance, because you're exploring like a huge environment in the process, and you kind of have to find where those, like where these fires are that need to be lit, it kind of makes it more interesting because you could easily miss it, and then you might have to run back through. Whereas in more of a linear environment, like in something like Batman Arkham, it's more just like, okay, like it's easy to find all the levers, just go flip them. And I don't know. It's just my take on it, I guess. But it's been a long time since I played Batman Arkham, and I've never played Arkham City, and I've never played Arkham Knight. But I was recommended. It was recommended to me that I play Arkham Knight because I actually own it. I can literally see the disc from where I'm sitting right now. Ooh, I wonder is that any better than what I'm wearing? Oh, very much not. So very much not. Doesn't even have sleeves. So I've been told that Arkham Knight is really, really good, so maybe that's something I should do a playthrough of eventually. I think that could be kind of fun. And maybe even go back and play Asylum and play City for the first time too. Could be kind of cool, because I have always wanted to play through all of them. Because I've heard that City is really good too. It's just it's specifically been recommended to me to play through Night. And I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's a little more open world than the first two games, if I'm remembering correctly, from what I've been told. But I don't know. Like I said, I have no experience to actually prove that assumption that I have. Alright, so here's another one. Let's light this one up. I think there's like, I want to say there's 8 that you have to light in total. There's a lot of boars up here. I should probably kill some of these because some of the materials that you get from them, like I think specifically the lump of flesh, I feel like I don't have many flesh lumps. Oh, he gave me a hefty beast bone, though, so they don't always give you flesh lumps. Okay, so everything back up this way is good. Let me kill this flesh lump real fast. Lump of flesh. Alright, and then let's work our way down here. I think there's a way up that way, so now that I've kind of cleared over in this corner, let's work our way up this side. Sort of always my natural way of progressing through things is sort of doing things over on the sides that I know lead to a dead end, and then moving into the bigger part of the area. By the way, these orbs, those things suck. I hate those things so much. So that's not going to be fun dealing with those. Oh yeah, okay, so yeah, right here you can see. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, so there's 8 in total. So I've got to light all of these before this boss opens up. And this is a really cool boss. I think this is a really, really neat boss. So I look forward to fighting that one. It's not super difficult, since I'm I might be, like I said, initially when I came into this area in my first playthrough, I was way under-leveled, so then I left, and then I think when I came back, I was over-leveled. So I think I'm a little lower level than when I came through this area the first time, so that boss might be a little more difficult on me than it was the first time. Oh yeah, there's a thing down here that I can drop to. All right, let's come back for that once I explore around there. Kind of want to go up here first and clear this out. So a couple of nights ago, I had a really, really bad dream. And this kind of gets on a little bit of a serious note. And it's kind of why I'm talking about this, is because even though this is not necessarily related directly to mental health, obviously I like to talk about mental health periodically and just kind of some of the stuff that I'm thinking and dealing with and all that. So it doesn't directly relate to it, but sometimes I feel like it can have your dreams can definitely be impacted by what's going on in your day-to-day life. Not one of those people that says like, oh yeah, like you can like this and that, like you make your dreams happen and all that. But I definitely think that it's almost like a power of suggestion. If you're thinking about something a lot, or if you're dealing with something, or if something just happened, like it definitely can make its way into your dreams. So to give some context and background, I guess, before really telling you what the dream was about. I have talked throughout this series about how I've dealt with a decent amount of mental health stuff with obsessive compulsive disorder. Seems like I might have ADHD. I'm actually possibly going to see my old therapist soon. He's kind of like I always forget the difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist. But he basically, like, he provides therapy, but he also can diagnose, but he can't prescribe. So whatever that ultimately would be. I have a friend that's going to school to be, I think he's going to be a psychiatrist. So I could always ask him what the difference is. I know, like, one can prescribe medication, one can't, but I don't know what the other differences are. So I'm supposed to go back to him soon and just kind of talk through some of the things I've been dealing with and some of the, it's almost kind of like maintenance therapy. Since I saw him as a kid, I've seen him a little bit here and there in my adult life, and I think it'd be good to talk to him again and just get his perspective on, like, do I have the signs of ADHD? Because I've sort of self-diagnosed myself, but I'd like an actual diagnosis. So all that to say, I've talked about that stuff throughout this series and just also my, like, anxiety and depression, and I've dealt with a lot of depression over the past, I mean, all throughout my life, but it's been bad again over the past probably year and a half. Hornbow. Hang on, hold that thought. I want to see this. I can actually use that. Oh, and it's technically a dex weapon. Very nice. Weighs 4.5. If I were to put that on, I would definitely be overweight, right? I should have gone from the bottom. Yeah, I would be heavy load. But I could potentially put this on, and that should allow me to not be heavy load, right? Let me see real fast. I'm still medium load. Okay, so maybe I'd like to. I mean, I've been talking about using a bow forever, so maybe I'll use that for a bit, just so I have the option. But I may end up having to take it off, since when I don't have the talisman on, I'm overweight. But yeah, so just the past couple of years, year and a half, it's kind of gotten bad again, and really before that too, I guess. And it's almost like sometimes it sort of sneaks up on you. You don't really realize that you're sort of slipping back into those old patterns. Until all of a sudden you're there and you're like, whoa, like, what is going on? Like, I gotta figure this out. So because of all that, because I've been in not the greatest of place for maybe the past couple of years, it sometimes causes me to sort of just think about it, like, as I'm feeling depressed and as I'm feeling negative and struggling with thinking about the future and things like that and worrying about the future. It can sometimes make me then, like, the way that can manifest itself sometimes is I start thinking about all the things that I haven't accomplished and all the things that I would like to accomplish, and then I guess I kind of start to worry about losing my parents before getting to those goals that I would like to. And I know that's something we all worry about. I mean, I know not everyone has a good relationship with your parents, and I totally understand that, and if you're one of those people, like, I totally get it, and I wish the best for you. And if you want a relationship with your parent, I hope that you're able to build that eventually. If you don't, great, that's where you're at, and, like, I totally understand that. But for me, I've been blessed enough to have a really good relationship with both of my parents. Hasn't always been that way. There were rough patches, But because I have a good relationship with both of them, I worry about losing them before I get to certain goals in life and certain things that I'd like to accomplish. And so I think every now and then that's in the back of my mind. And sometimes too with my mental health, like my parents have been huge in helping me with that over the years, and I've especially, my mom has always been very comforting for me when talking about mental health stuff, and she's been able to help me through a lot of those things. So all of that is backstory to tell you that a couple nights ago, and it was really a couple days ago, I guess, because I had like worked through the night, and so I was sleeping during the day. So I went back to sleep, and I had this awful, awful dream that my mom had died. But it wasn't just like that would have been bad enough, but from what I remember of the dream, I'm fairly positive she'd been murdered. And I know that's a heavy dream. I know it's kind of crazy I'm even really talking about it, but it was a really, really bad dream. And it was one of those dreams where I woke up from it just super, super just happy that it was over and that it wasn't real. And it was one of those ones where I didn't like, you know how sometimes in a dream, oh shoot, I forgot that was going to do that. I'm dead. Oh no, I'm not. Can I get out of here? Holy crap, that was crazy. Oh shoot, why is it doing it to me when I'm that far away from it? I don't understand that. But you know how you've got some of those dreams where you kind of know that you somewhat know that you're in the dream during it. Like there's a part of you that's like, okay, this doesn't feel right. But in the dream, I had no idea that it was a dream. So waking up, it was like, it took me a second to really get my bearings and be like, oh yeah, okay, so like that wasn't real. So that sucked. I do not, and I've actually, the weird thing is, so I told my mom about the dream, not in super like detail, because it's kind of like you don't really want to hear that someone had a dream that you were murdered. Like even I don't know, because it just those dreams, they suck. I hate them. So it's like I just kind of told her that I had the dream, and she reminded me, look at that guy just perched out there, hanging out on the end of that bridge. She reminded me I actually had that same type of dream a couple of months ago. So I think it's just been in the back of my mind as I've struggled with like aspects of depression again lately, and worried about the future and not accomplishing everything I want to, and losing my parents and all that. I think maybe it's sort of, I don't know, because I've thought about some of those things, it's like that has caused me to have a couple of those dreams in the course of a couple of months. And that sucks. I do not recommend. How do I get down? Oh, that's right. I think you can jump. You can jump right into the spirit spring, right? But is there a... So there's an item in the middle of this thing. So what is the best way to get to that? I wonder. I don't know if I need to use the spirit spring, or can I... Oh, wait. I wonder... Let me try this. I'm curious, because I don't remember at all how this works. Let me drop down here. And then is there access to, like, the inside of this from down here? See, this is the stuff I need to be checking anyway, because since I missed, I think, what was it, yesterday? We went back and had to grab an item on the Divine Bridge of Limgrave, because I had missed it. And it was a situation like this, where it was just something that I didn't drop to. Okay, this seems promising. I feel like I'm going somewhere, right? Oh yeah, okay, so it looks like I can get to some of this stuff from here. Who knows, though? I might end up just getting myself trapped. I have no idea. And that is certain death down there, though. It's crazy to think about the fact that this is all underground stuff. Okay, so there's where that item is. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy to think about this is all underground stuff, yet, like, look at how massive. Like, you can actually see the roots from stuff up above. Or actually, no, those aren't the root. That's just, I think that's just the rocks maybe. But yeah, the fact that this is all underground and it's still so deep. I mean, it's pretty deep down here. Can I drop? Oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna drop here. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense that's the way that you get to the item. I was getting really confused because I was thinking there's no way that since the Spirit Spring sends you so far up that you would be expected to essentially like push yourself forward at just the right moment to come into this like little doorway. Which is kind of what I tried to do that second time I jumped. I tried to see if it would let me in, and it didn't work. So there's that. Just seeing if there's any other drop downs along here before I leave. Alright, so what is this? Dwelling arrows? I need to try the dwelling arrows, and that's what I have equipped, but what do the dwelling arrows do again? Arrow in which the spirits of small animals are thought to dwell. Deals magic damage. Okay. Deals magic damage. Interesting. When I've got 15k on me again. Ooh, that was a little bit of a precarious jump. And yeah, something that I learned is that I think you can jump from up above and land on the spirit springs, and it also won't do damage. So not only will it not do damage to you when you use them wherever it drops you off, but you can also jump from up above and land on it, and it won't do damage, supposedly. I don't think I've ever tried it before. I mean, it makes sense, but I feel like every situation where I've thought maybe I should try it, it was not a good situation to try it, because it was like I was carrying a bunch of runes or something, so I just didn't. Because that's almost how I tried to get down, I think, to that beach in Limgrave originally. Because there's a spirit spring down there, I considered just jumping into the spirit spring. Oh, there's turtles down here? Oh, I can kill them in 3 hits now with this. But I mean, with the flail, I could kill them in 2 because of the... I guess because the flail's sharper, maybe? And because of the blood loss, but this has blood loss too, but whatever. Alright, so I've almost cleared out. I'm kind of coming back along here because I went along the side and I didn't clear out all of this level here. So then this leads back up to where we just were. And then yeah, let me kill all these turtles real fast. Get some nice turtlenecks. Oh wait, hang on. Oh sweet, so I can almost kill them in 2 hits now too. So I wonder. Oh, okay, and depending on how I hit them, I can kill them too. So that must be because I've upgraded my weapon. But it's weird that I don't see why upgrading your weapon would change if the turtle shell like knocks your weapon back or not. I don't see how that affects it. But I guess maybe it does. These guys, I didn't realize that they just spawn like out of nothing. For some reason I thought that they all were visible before you walk up, but I guess not. You guys can barely even get hits on me. You guys suck, ancestral spirits. And the boss that we're lighting all these like monuments for is basically like a massive deer or doe type of thing. Or no, it's a deer because it's got massive horns. So it's basically like a massive deer. And I think, I'm trying to remember, I know that these are just ancestral spirits, and I think the boss is called like, ooh, he finally hit me. He hit me twice. I think the boss is called like the ancestral follower spirit or something like that, maybe. And like I said, it's a cool boss, so it'll be exciting getting to that one here in a couple of episodes. And I always, as usual, ooh, that looks cool. Seeing the boss area from right here. These, I've never paid attention to these, whatever, these are like dead trees or something. Huh, those look weird. At first, with the way I was standing, it looked like it was a frozen waterfall coming down off the building from the angle I was standing at. But yeah, I always feel the need periodically throughout these videos to just sort of apologize for how slow I go through everything. I know that that's literally the whole point of the series is we're going slow, But sometimes I kind of catch myself going really, really slow. And I periodically notice myself just sort of going in circles. And that is not on purpose. Sometimes, too, it's because I start talking about something, and then I kind of forget, oh yeah, I already looked at that, or that's already been done. Sometimes, too, I just go, okay, there's like 3 bushes over here that I haven't looked at, so I'm going to go back and check the bushes again. But it's all about, it's all part of 100%, right? That's what we're doing here, is we're working towards 100%, including every item on the ground. There's like a little item of ancestral spirits over here. And I'm trying to keep an eye out for these monuments that I need to light. I haven't lit one in a little while, I feel like. I think there's one up... I'm pretty sure there's one up there. Yeah, they do. They spawn out of nothing, so you don't even see them until you get close, which is interesting. Okay, so this, though, this leads back to... Yeah, this little, like, path down over to that spirit spring. And didn't I could have sworn I saw an item over here. Maybe was I seriously just seeing the birds? I must have been seeing the birds. Maybe I saw one of their white heads and thought that it was an item. Or maybe I just saw this. I don't know. Gold Rune 3, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Give me that melty mushroom as well. I would appreciate that. Oh, and we're getting to the end of the episode here. We've been going for a while. I was just kind of trying to clear out a little bit more of this. I wanted to get to a better stopping point. Yeah, because see, look, still backtracking. I'm still finding items that I haven't, or materials that I haven't picked up. So I kind of wanted to clear out this area. Maybe we'll try to make it... Maybe we'll try to make it up to where this next fire monument is before we call it. Because I don't like to just end when we're in the middle of just a random area like this, I guess. So yeah, maybe let's go light this. We'll kill all these guys, light this, and then I can work my way back through some of that stuff I just skipped over in the next episode. It's interesting that all of the animals stick with them. I think... Oh yeah, because it says that they're arrows. It said that the spirits of animals live inside them. But you would think that the animals then would not want to be around them because they'd be afraid that their spirit was going to be taken to be inside of their arrows. But maybe they're really good with animals. They're really sweet. Ooh, crap. Almost got the horns. I wonder, you know, I don't think I've really tried anything else other than my weapon on them. I wonder what fire does to them. Okay, not bad. It's not great, though. Crap. It's also, they're running at me a little too quickly to be able to really use that effectively. So I'm going to stop, because I'm all about effective. Would you stop with the horns, please? Gosh. When I got my flask back, this guy's just up here pondering life. He didn't even care what was going on with his friends down below. Can pick up this item. There we go. You are dead, sir. That's it for you. Alright, let's light this one, and then we're going to wrap for today. And tomorrow, we'll kind of go back along the path behind me to some of the stuff that I missed, and then continue working our way over this way towards some of the other stuff. We still have a good bit left to go, for sure. Yeah, and actually, yeah, we didn't make it too far. We got to be thorough, though. That's how this works. So thank you so much for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, I would highly appreciate if you would leave a like, maybe a comment, and also hit subscribe. So thank you so much for checking out this video, and I will talk to you tomorrow.